Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. In the previous biology class, we defined the term biology. We discussed the term biology, the meaning of the biology, the history of the biology, and the main divisions are the main branches are the major branches of biology. Today we will give Today we will go in the detail of the sub branches of biology. So the sub branches of biology, what is biology? Do you remember? The study of life is called biology. Bio means life and logy means to discuss. So the study of life is called biology. What is the history of biology? In 1736, a Swedish scientist Carlos Linnaeus introduced the word biology for the first time. What are the sub branches of biology? Biology is a fast growing field of science, therefore, it is divided into the following branches. The first branch of the biology is the morphology. Meaning, what is the meaning of morphology? Morph means form, shape, and logy means or logos means to study or to discuss. What is the definition of morphology? The structure. Clear in simple words, morph means structure. जो ऑर्गेनिज्म जिस तरह जो बना है, जिस तरह अल्लाह ताला ने उसको जैसे ही बनाया है वो उसकी स्ट्रक्चर है. द ब्रांच ऑफ बायोलॉजी डील्स विद द स्टडी ऑफ फॉर्म, फॉर्मेशन, साइज, उसकी साइज एंड स्ट्रक्चर of living organisms is called morphology, like morphology of plant and human. Morphology of plant means that plant has stem, leaves, branches, flowers, etc. And the morphology of man means that the morphology of man is it has hands, eyes, nose, etc. So the branch of biology deals with the study of form, size, and structure of living organisms is called the morphology, and morphology of plants and morphology of animals. The next one branch is the anatomy. Ano means to cut or see internally. When we study the things internally from the inside, this is known as anatomy. The definition of anatomy is the branch of biology which deals with the study of internal structure of living organisms is called anatomy. As we discussed in the morphology, morphology is the external study of the living organism. External study means that whenever there is a plant, whenever there is a an animal, cat, dog, etc. So you externally see its structure, ears, eyes, nose, hands, body structure. So this is morphology. But we see internally and internal organs. When we study the internal organs of the something, internal structure of the something, this is known as anatomy. Ano means to cut, see internally. So the branch of biology which deals with the study of internal structure of living organisms is called anatomy. Examples of anatomy are anatomy of heart, that how many chambers in there in the heart, how many valves are there present inside the heart. So when we study internally things like anatomy of kidney, that into how many portions the internal structure is divided, how what things are present inside the kidney. So anatomy means when we study the things internally, when we see the things internally. Clear? The So we discussed the morphology, the external structure of the living organism. We discussed the anatomy, the internal structure of the living organism, that internally how their organs are formed. The next one branch is the physiology. Physio means functions. Clear? Functions of the body. In simple words, we can say the functions of the body. What is the meaning of physiology? Physio means functions, physicals, physiques, functions. Clear? Physiques body parts को कहते हैं. So what is the function of these physics is known as the physio. Logy means to discuss or to study. The branch of biology deals with the study of function and activities of different parts of organism is called physiology. It means that what is the function of the heart, what is the function of the hands, what is the function of the kidney, what is the function of the lungs, what is the function of the eye. All these things are included in the physiology. So physiology means the functions of the body parts, कि हमारे बॉडी के कौन से पार्ट्स है वो कौन से फंक्शंस प्ले करते हैं. क्लियर? What functions are played by our body functions, our body parts. So physio means function and logy means to study. The branch of biology which deals with the study of functions and activities of different parts of organisms is called physiology. The function of the heart, the function of the eye, the function of the kidney, all these things are included in the physiology. The next branch is the histology. What is the meaning of histology? Histos means tissues. What are tissues? A group of similar organisms. If you remember in the previous class, you discussed the biological organization in detail, that one cell combined together, they form the tissues combined together, they form the organs combined together, they form the organ systems, and the organ system combined together and they form an organism. So, what is tissue? A group of similar cells. A group of cells. You can see a group of cells are a group of similar cells. Clear? A group of cells combine together and they form the tissues. So, what is cell? Cell is the basic unit of life. In the previous classes, you defined the cell in simple words, the basic unit of life. Clear? द बेसिक यूनिट ऑफ लाइफ, लिविंग बॉडी की जो यूनिट है, जो बुनियाद है, जो बेस है, जिस तरह कंस्ट्रक्शन की जाती हैं, एंड कंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए आपने सुना होगा कि बुनियादें खोदी जाती हैं. सिमिलरली द base of the living body is the cell. Cell is the basic life of the body, but basic unit of the body. But in the senior classes, when you the biology as a separate field, so you define the cell as the basic structural and functional unit of the life, because cell form the structure of the body and cell perform the functions of the body. So in the senior classes, you will define the cell as the structural and functional unit of the living body. The structural and functional unit of the living body, because it forms the structure and it performs all the functions of the body. So whenever these cells combine together, they form the tissues. These cells may be similar or they may be different. जरूरी नहीं है कि ये सेल एक जैसे हो. सही है. These cells may be different from each other and they may be same to each other, but when they combine together and perform a specific function, so they are known as tissues. Histos means tissues. Logi means to study or to discuss, the branch of biology which deals with the study of structure, function and composition of the plants and animal tissues. समझ आ गई कि जब हम plants and animals के tissues को डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे, that what functions are played by these tissues, what activities are played by these tissues, and how these tissues are formed. This is known as the histology. So the branch of biology deals with the study of structure and function and composition of the plants and animal tissues is called histology. Examples: nervous tissues of human. Nervous tissues कौन से हैं? The nervous tissues are the neurons and the sensory neurons, the associative neurons, the motor neurons are combined together and they form the nervous tissues. Like in plants, the example is the vascular tissue. Clear? One example is from the animal, which are the nervous tissues, and one example from the plants, which are the vascular tissues. Vascular tissues are known as the xylem and phloem. The xylem and phloem are known as the vascular tissues. So, histology means, histos means tissues, a group of similar cells are different cells. The branch of biology deals with the study of structure and function and composition of plants and animal tissues is called histology. Nervous tissues in main and vascular are xylem and phloem tissues in the plants. Now, the next branch is the taxonomy. Clear? Taxis. Taxa means arrangement. Is the meaning of taxonomy? Taxa means arrangement or classification, and nomos means scientific naming. The branch of biology deals with the study of classification and scientific naming of organisms is called taxonomy. आपके भी नाम होते हैं, सारे प्लांट्स के भी नाम हैं, सारे एनिमल्स के भी नाम हैं. आपने ये भी देखा होगा, द क्लास आपने स्टडी होगा, द क्लासेस ऑफ द एनिमल्स, मेमल्स हैं, रेप्टाइल्स है, बैकबोन वाले हैं, बगैर बैकबोन के हैं, फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स है, नॉन फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स है. दीज ऑल आर कंसर्न विद टेक्सोनॉमी. That first of all they are arranged and then they are classified and then they are given the name. So the branch of biology which deals with the study of classification and scientific naming of organisms is called taxonomy, as classification of plants and autotrophs, that plants are autotrophs, are heterotrophs which cannot prepare their own food. So All the living organisms are first of all arranged, classified, and then the scientific name are given them, and we study them in the taxonomy.